If you're new to another, my name is Jamie. In 3 years of doing YouTube, I'm finally doing a desk tour. This is one of the videos I always held on because I wanted to save it as a celebratory moment for when I got my first real sponsor, and here we are. No, I still don't have a sponsor, but I still needed content, and the desk setup is exactly what you would expect from an Apple fanboy, and it does sit in the background of many of my videos, so you should surely be able to deduce what's on it, but I'll share how I use these particular items as well as trying to keep you entertained so you don't click off until the very end. So let's go ahead and just get started with the desk itself. And as I mentioned, this is the classic YouTube setup of IKEA parts. You have an IKEA countertop on top of Alex drawers and trestle leg. I did opt for a sitting desk here as my 9 to 5. I do have a standing desk. I find myself to be a little less distracted if I'm stationary in one place. And these edits, these long 5 to 8 hour edits require just that. So I need to be glued to my chair that I picked up pre-pandemic from World Market. But yeah, there's no logic to the madness of the drawers themselves. My top drawer has the items that I find myself reaching for more often, while the others just have old documents that I should probably just digitize. But I ain't got time for that. I try to keep the trestle leg clear, but you could always absolutely add something like bins for extra storage. This countertop has held up pretty well. It is as old as his YouTube channel, so it is 3 years old. I do keep the majority of the surface protected with a Grove-made wool mat. I do go back and forth between this gray as well as a dark blue. This is the large size, and as you expect, magic keyboard, magic mouse. You cannot beat Touch ID. And then lastly, on the back of the countertop itself are Hue light strips that I installed, I believe, sometime last year. They work really well. In fact, all the lights in the studio are Philips Hue, as you saw in that intro, with the exception of the floor lamp that I picked up from Target. I wish I did have the ability to add my own light so I could put in Hue bulbs, but these are LED and these caps are not removable. Other than the lack of voice control, I think the look fits the space with the black and gold accents pretty well, and the lights give off just the right warm tone. I'll breeze by the actual tech, because again, they are pretty standard. I do have dedicated videos on the channel for just about all of these items. So let's actually start from left to right, and that'll bring us to the AirPods Max. Now these are actually over 2.5 years old, and I went with a white and silver combo, and they've held up okay considering. The ear cups do look a little bit yellowed, but luckily these are replaceable. The headband, however, is not. It's not doing as bad, but it's not as cushiony as they originally were. They sit on top of this Grove-made stand, which means they consistently need to be charged because they don't have the ability to be turned off unless they're in the case. Version 2 really needs an off switch, or at least the ability to power them off using your iPhone. But to the right of that, we do have my Mac Studio that I picked up at the end of December 2022. I was super excited to find just the right match in the refurbished section that fits my needs. It sits on top of its techie dock, which I previously used with my Mac Mini. I really appreciate the front I/O of the Mac Studio, but I like to offload multiple SD cards and have SSD cards attached, so this is where it comes in handy, and this techie dock is a perfect color match. Speaking of the perfect match, right in the center we have the Apple Studio display. And if I had to pick my favorite product from last year, I think it would be this guy here. I love that it could become an extension of so many of my different products, whether it be my MacBook, Mac Studio, or even iPad. The exterior display looks absolutely stunning, but this is the perfect consumer alternative in my opinion, and I highly recommend it even for PC users. This is the height adjustable stand, which I also recommend, and it is the standard glass as I have no windows in the studio, so no reflection at all to worry about. I really can't say enough good things about this display. Let me know if you'd like to see a follow-up video just dedicated to the Apple Studio display. We could call it the Apple Studio display 1 year later. Is it worth the hype? Question mark. Exclamation point, you know, for the clicks. Not sure if that would work, but what is working is having my iPad Pro from 2018 11-inch docked to the right of the display, right next to my orange HomePod Mini. iPads has always been referenced as glorified screens, and since this is my older model, I do justify it as that, as I usually have it as an extension to sort out video files while editing, or just playing YouTube videos while I'm working. And we do unfortunately have that fake YouTuber plant, and it's only fake because I have no windows in this space. I did try keeping real plants down here that I would rotate out upstairs for sunlight from time to time, but those guys did not do well. Now I did kind of skip over the Grow Make shelf and accessory holder that I primarily just use to keep dongles as well as unused air tags and SSD cards handy. Again, I love all the front facing ports of the Mac Studio and the dock, but because I usually find myself plugging multiple drives in, I need dongles at the ready. There might be a simpler way to organize these cards and files with these adapters, but this is my controlled chaos. And yeah, that's about it. Right above the desk, you have even more Grove Made. These are the Grove Made shelves. I did purchase these, by the way. If I had to do it again, there's definitely a lot more options out there for you, but these are the ones that I've had since the start of my YouTube journey. On them is my little Eevee, my favorite Pokemon, and some lenses. And other than that, just some decorative tech. Oh yeah, there's this LED light that's just below it. My partner gave me that this year for my birthday, and I love the orange glow. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below if you'd like to design your own. And since you've made it to the end of this video, I'll go ahead and show you the rest of the space. Not as much detail, but I'll just go ahead and just show you what it looks like on that side of the camera. This will be raw and unpolished, so do not think differently of me. We have another little IKEA shelf. Right below there, we just have a bunch of, we have some lens hood charging batteries and things like that. This one over here, some flashes and flash hardware. Decorative things you should see in all my little B-roll, light, couch. We have a photography backdrop. Looks like that. And now on the real opposite side of the camera, again, these are also sort of backdrops of my videos. So we have my work standing desk that I mentioned earlier. A little bit of gaming goes on there, not too much. Mainly just a second desk for, I don't know what, just for background. Some charging things in here. Don't mind those purses. Those belong to a client, not to myself. Backpacks, I really enjoy checking out different types of backpacks. So those are what those are there. And then we have a flash, again, for photography. And that's about it. We have some Harry Potter books over here. I love Harry Potter. More books in that cupboard. You never want to see that cupboard over there. Lots of boxes. Lots of boxes. And that's what it looks like. Oop, that is bright. That's what it looks like traditionally. And yeah, that's my desk. The computing devices do change from time to time, maybe a little too often, but the furniture has been the same for many, many years. I don't anticipate changing anytime soon, but if I do, you should probably be subscribed if you haven't already. Hit that like button down below, and until next time, see ya.